Should you consider purchasing ships or in-game money in Dreadnought and supporting the development studio behind it? This developer review will help you decide. The description for Dreadnought reads, Dreadnought puts you in command of massive capital ships for tactical team-based warfare in space and across the skies of different planets. As a mercenary captain, your motivations are simple: to reap the rewards of battle and build your reputation, and to be fearless doing it. Armed with earth-shaking weapons and the support of your teammates, you must claim victory by outmaneuvering, outshooting, and outclassing the opposing team. Prepare yourself, it's time to take the helm. Dreadnought is currently available from playdreadnought.com for PC and PS4 and is free to play. Dreadnought is a game built by a studio called Yager, based in Berlin, Germany. The game is published by Greybox, the same publisher behind Grey Goo. Grey Goo was released on Steam on January 23, 2015 and currently has a mostly positive rating. There is also a third company, 6foot, involved in the creation of Dreadnought, but it is not clear what their role is. So we have the developer, Yager, the publisher, Greybox, and a third company, 6foot, with an unclear role. Greybox appear to handle most, if not all, of the community management and marketing efforts. So whereas in a normal developer review I would refer to the developer, in this case Yager, for this review I'll be referring to Greybox and Yager as interchangeable names to cover both of their roles. There are no clear numbers available as to how many people across the three companies work on Dreadnought, although there are 11 devs noted on Discord. There are also no clear numbers as to the number of people who play Dreadnought. However, match wait times have dropped significantly between closed and open beta as new players join. Dreadnought first went into closed beta April 26, 2016 and entered open beta on the 16th of May 2017 and can be downloaded and played for free. Each developer review follows the same format. There are 4 individual ratings, each of which is rated from A, exceptional, to E, disgraceful. And then there is an overall positive or negative recommendation on whether you should consider supporting this development studio. The first rating we're going to look at is community interaction. Greybox have a number of forum mods on their own forums. The mods in general will answer your questions fairly fast and accurately. They also have a Discord server which allows direct access to devs. This combination has worked well in the past for other games as well. Dreadnought also has fairly active Twitter, Facebook and YouTube channels. Greybox used to be active on Twitch, though that has dropped off remarkably in the last 6 months. They do host players who stream Dreadnought. In fact, my own stream has been hosted by them. However, it is a shame they do not have devs or community managers streaming more often on their own channel. Alternatively, they could stream developers creating assets, for example new ships, in the same way that other dev teams do. This is a missed opportunity. There is an unofficial wiki which seems to have been overrun by bots. Finally, they do have a Reddit page, although the devs do not seem to be active there. Although Greybox do have the basics of community management in place, active mods on their forums and are also active in other areas, they do have a couple of problems with their forums. The first is that they are very slow. The second is their forums have been overrun on several occasions recently by forum bots, as you can see here. This combination does not leave a good first impression for new players. For the above reasons, I'm going to award Greybox Yager with a B for community interaction. According to Dreadnought's own website, between April 26, 2016 and today, which is October 9, 2017, the game has received 20 updates, which is roughly 1 update per month, although many of them were either minor updates or hotfixes. It's clear that the game has changed quite significantly since the start of closed beta, so in that sense the game has developed over the period. However, what is also clear is that several updates have not been well received by sections of the player base, many have introduced significant bugs which have later needed to be fixed, and a year and a half after the start of closed beta, you would expect a free-to-play game to be much closer to final completion. There is very little advance notice of patches and what will be in them. Communication is an issue that seems to have plagued this development team. We'll touch a little on this in a later section of this review. For the number of updates, the introduction of significant new systems and content, but also for the number of new bugs and lack of communication, I'm going to award Greybox Yager a weak C for developer speed. It's clear from reading through the forums and looking at how the developers have handled patch releases that communication has been an issue for this team. On several occasions, patch releases were only announced the same day they were released, and there was no roadmap or advance information on what was going to be released. On September 8th, 2017, Mike Donatelli, the product director for Dreadnought, who incidentally works for 6foot, not Yager or Greybox, posted his new product director roadmap. This forum post was released in collaboration with another forum post called the Dreadnought Roadmap. That post in turn referenced a further 20 forum posts which had information on each specific feature. But you cannot discuss each feature in those 20 forum posts. Instead, you have to go to yet another subforum where you can post your thoughts and feedback. This is really not a professional way of displaying roadmaps, nor does it provide clarity. There are many great free tools available to dev teams to display roadmaps, and it's a shame the team has not used one. The roadmap gives a list of features the devs are looking to implement between September and the end of Q1 2018, so a 7-month period. Matchmaking and team play are given priority in the product director roadmap, but other than that, there is no priority given to other features, nor are any dates other than patch 1.9 was expected to be released end of September, which it was. This information is a step up from what the community had in the past, but it's not a huge step up. It also does not answer the question of when the game will come out of beta or what needs to be in place for that to happen. For the reasons listed in this section, I'm awarding a weak C for developer clarity. At no time during the research for this developer review have I found a situation where the dev team have outright lied, nor have I found any case of them making any claims that were later proved to be false. On the other side, their lack of clarity on where this game is going and inability to communicate well show that they are not as open as they should be. For these reasons, they are awarded a B for developer honesty. When I started investigating for this developer review, several things struck me. First of all, the lack of an overall plan to get Dreadnought out of beta and to start the marketing engine to bring in new players. Free-to-play games rely on monetizing their player base as much as possible and increasing that player base to increase income. With Dreadnought's low player base, lack of active marketing, and lack of enticing things to purchase in-game, it is unlikely that it is currently self-supporting financially. That is 1.5 years after the start of closed beta, and probably closer to 3 years since development first started. The lack of communication from the devs, at least until September's roadmap was published, simply reinforces this. If Greybox Yager are working to a long-term plan, there is very little indication of that. This in turn leads to little belief in the dev team, and that's a major problem for a free-to-play game. If a player looks at a free-to-play game and thinks there's a chance the game will die in a year or two, he or she is much less likely to spend any money in the game. It's a vicious circle, and Yager Greybox have not demonstrated they are in a position to get out of it. Now, of course, it is possible they are waiting until the game is in a much better state before starting to seriously spend money on marketing to bring in new players. But if that is the case, then when will that be? Can Greybox sustain the cost of the dev team until that point? And what is the plan to get from here to there? There are no answers to these questions. So, should you consider purchasing ships or in-game money in Dreadnought? For all the reasons I stated in this review, I am awarding a not recommended at this time to Greybox Yager for Dreadnought. That's it for this developer review. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, and if you've really enjoyed it, please consider hitting that subscribe button. That's it for now. As always, enjoy your gaming, take care.